it's because I just got done putting all my stuff away. In Southwest Ohio, it gets really, really hot. I just want to say, for my 50 subscriber, I want to do a 50 subscriber giveaway. And the way I'm going to do that giveaway is, well, first, I've been really fortunate through this whole situation going on in the world right now. I didn't lose my job, so I've been employed this entire time. I know not everyone has been as lucky. I find myself extremely fortunate. I'm not rolling in dough. Like, for instance, I had a leak in my second story. Like, I'm not perfect, I'm not rolling in dough, but I also feel like I'm fortunate enough to where I can give back to the community that supports me a little bit. So what I'm going to do for my 50 subscriber giveaway is leave a like, leave a subscription. I have to be able to confirm you're subscribed. If I cannot confirm you're subscribed, if you have a private account, and if I draw your name in this raffle, I unfortunately will have to redraw somebody else. Leave the name of your local bait shop. It has to be a local bait shop. It can't be Dick's. It cannot be Bass Pro. I know they're great stores, but I want this to be a locally owned bait shop. I want it to be more of a mom and pop store. So leave their name below, an address, a contact number, as much information as you can give me. And I'm going to do a drawing. And when I do that drawing in one of my future videos, whoever wins that drawing, I'm going to call that company up. I'm going to tell them I'm sending a $50 check in your name, so you have a $50 credit to their shop. This way I'm supporting a subscriber, and I'm also supporting a small local business. Again, I'm not made of money. I'm not doing this every 50 subscribers. Like, when I hit 100, if I hit 100, it ain't happening again. But I feel like this is a good way to give back to the community and to give back to everyone who has pushed me to 50 subscribers. Alright, so Kayak Mike here. I'm going to run over my setup on my kayak. There are people who are interested in joining the TCKA Ohio Tournament Series Trail. I saw some posts about, getting their kayak set up for it. I have a really simple and really small kayak, so I feel like if you emulate some of the things that I do, or if there's anything I do that can help you, just let me know. I'm essentially bare minimum what you can do to trophy catfish. So I feel like if I put a video out there, there's going to be so many people that can add to it, but having a base minimum, I think, is helpful for anyone who wants to get into the sport. I'm gonna try and get as detailed as I can, and if I miss anything, if anyone sees anything in the video that they have a question about, just leave a comment in the comment section. First thing I'm gonna mention, this is in my life jacket. This is my life jacket. I have it in my right pocket up top. I have this on the right pocket because when you zipper it up, you can zipper it up into the pocket of the GoPro. It actually, if you have this on the other side and you zipper it up, this kind of pushes against your chest and limits mobility and makes it actually a lot looser than when you have this on this side. We're going to go from the front and work our way back. So I have two rod holders. I have Scotty rod holders. These are actually the Bass Pro rod holders. The reason I have the cheaper ones, having a smaller kayak, I only have a 350, 375 pound weight capacity. So having the smaller kayak, these are considerably lighter. Of course, they're less, they have a lesser quality to them, but they're lighter and they're thinner. The Scotty ones came out to like right here, and if you see how much room, there's not, when the rods are on a rod holder, when I'm fishing, I have them about there. So when the rod's on a rod holder, you don't have a lot of room to work with. When I'm not fishing, when I'm about to pull my anchor out, I just pull my rods out a little bit, lift my anchor up, push my rods back in. This track system, it's a little wobbly, but it's not going to get any better than that unless I put like metal tracks in, but this has been working just fine. I have had fish slam my poles and rip drag, and these haven't come close to ripping out. Will it happen eventually? Possibly. And then I got my musky bumper board already unfolded. I can measure any 30-inch fish right here while I'm sitting down pretty easily. People have seen me bring the fish up and into the boat and measure pretty easily and take pictures. I put my anchor in between my feet for when I'm paddling around That way I have easy access to my anchor. I use this anchor and I have another flat anchor, but this is the bigger, more aggressive anchor. So for video purposes, I think that's good to show. This I'm going to be improving. I'm going to put a piece of PVC pipe through here like my other anchor. So this is more sturdy, but I have just a simple pool noodle attached to my anchor on a 50-foot rope. I'm going to make that 100 feet. As we work farther. Oh, also, I use this as a cutting board. I don't need a cutting board in my kayak because when you have the musky bumper, it's also a cutting board. When you're trophy kayak fishing, you're not worried about your first 10 inches. So I'm not worried about cutting up the first 10 inches of my board when I'm using it as a cutting board to cut up my shad and my bait. Then here, I got a D-ring. I think I have 5 or 6 D-rings on a lanyard on both sides. Initially, they were to hold my rods in place, but that became extremely cumbersome. They kept on getting in the way. They were really frustrating. I know some people use them. They like them. The advantage of having the pool noodle is your mobility increases 1,000-fold. But the disadvantage is if you drop one of these in the pole and you're dealing with current, you have to go get your pole now. It's not going to be attached to you. The advantage to the D-ring, if you drop your pole in current, then your pole can only go as far as your D-ring allows it. So for my first D-ring here, I have my Cascade clippers or snips, and you know, for your split shot, if you're ultralight fishing, you got your braided line snipper, and this helps me get the hooks out of a lot of the fish. On my opposite side, I have my Whisker Seeker fish grips. A huge upgrade for me. These spin. So for this camera, these spin, so when the catfish are doing their death rolls, you can get them on these sides here, these side pockets. On the side pockets, I keep my drinks and my snacks. This is the most important feature for me, this little waterproof container. I put my car key in here and I attach it to my kayak. So my kayak isn't going anywhere, so my car key doesn't go anywhere. That's extremely important for me. And I leave this up because if you can see all the mud, the one time I had this face down, and when I pulled it out, it hit the clip and it actually came undone. Next I have, this is actually my backup set of headlights. So I always bring 2 of these, but here's just one. This is my backup set headlamp. I always bring 2. I got my clips down here. These are brand new. I'll be putting a heavier duty rope on those and attach that to a D-ring. One of my D-rings I have clipped off to my spare paddle. Also, I am not using a motor at all, and I don't use a pedal system, so I am essentially at the very basics. Over there, I'll be honest, I don't clip that one in because I want ease of access to that one. I actually don't even know if that paddle floats. I'll learn the hard way, but I always have a backup paddle, so even if I do lose that one, I'll be fine. And then that ends the D-rings over here. And if there's anything else I ever want to bring that requires a D-ring, I have tons of extras. And you can leave these on when you're transporting your kayak. I do not use a crate. The reason I don't use a crate is because a crate does not have insulation. A crate you have to put on, take off, put on, take off, the crates that I've seen. I only use a cooler because the cooler can keep my bait cool and it takes up less space. If I had a crate here, I would have to have a crate and a cooler. A crate for a smaller kayak for what I'm doing for me just isn't feasible. I put all my drinks and stuff and my bait all together in there. There's my cast net. When I put my cast net in my kayak, I put the weights upside down in it. Even if I don't plan on using 4 poles, I always bring 4 poles for weight distribution. You see 2 are out on that side, 1 out on this side, 1 back here. Ohio only allows 3 poles in certain bodies of water. I'm not gonna get into that. Back here, I got my light. I can just turn this on. Now onto this side, D-rings. This is where I keep my cell phone. I also have another one of these that I keep my spare batteries in. It's a waterproof case. Now for me, the most important part, this kayak, as you can see, has 0 storage. There's 1 compartment that's for emergency things, like a spare set of clothes, toilet paper. You can't get to that when you're actually fishing, so I put nothing in there. All of my fishing gear is in here. Top right pocket, I have extra indicators. I might do a video on these, and I have my spare rigs. I have Santee Cooper rigs in here. I have Carolina rigs in here. I have triple rigs in here. This is saran wrap. I make the rig, wrap it up some saran wrap. At the beginning of last month, this thing was full with like 30 rigs, and you could put it in your pocket, not even feel it. Literally, you don't even know you have it. So you have 30 rigs in a sandwich bag. You know, all those other, you know, some people like the big rig wraps, which is fine. I'm looking for space. So having 30 rigs in a sandwich bag is extremely important for me. Still on the left-hand side, I got some terminal tackle, you know, some crappie rigs and stuff, some light split shot, some CP swings, you know, bobbers, some smaller hooks. That's on my left-hand side. On my right-hand side, up here, that's where my GoPro goes, on my chest. Zipper it up. Continuing on my right side, we have my knife. I can't emphasize this enough. Every time you use something, close it, put it back, zip it up. If you get in the habit, you'll never lose anything. Next pocket. Tons of weights, tons of big hooks, bobber stops, circle hooks, J hooks, you name it, I got it in here. 2 ounce, 4 ounce, no roll, bank sinkers, right here in my chest. Up front, I have backup clippers. You never know if you're gonna lose your cast king, so backup clippers. And I have literally gone multiple days fishing in this setup and have had no issues. And then last but not least, when I have to cart, since this is so small, since this kayak is so small, when I have to cart, I use my dolly here, but I always bring a bike lock because that's so small and so light. Anything that I can not bring with me out on the water, I avoid bringing. So I locked my dolly to a tree. That is my setup. That's how I've been fishing. I just registered my boat there. See that? I got the letters just in case I get a motor. You never know. I probably won't, but who knows? Oh, last but not least, this entire setup took me 10 minutes between taking the kayak out of the garage, taking everything out of my Jeep and putting it in the kayak. Took me all of 10 minutes. Also, when I cart my kayak through the woods with my dolly, what I do is I actually put all 4 poles back here. Well, I put it on the dolly first. I put all 4 poles back here. I completely load up the kayak and then I go to my destination. So it's not like I don't dolly my kayak first and then walk all my gear down. I can easily carry all my gear with the kayak to wherever I have to go. So that's my rig. I hope to see you guys out at East Fork at the end of the month. And if you have any questions, or if you want me to help you out with your rig, if you have any questions, or if you want me to help out you with your rig, just let me know. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe. I was told to start saying that, so I'm gonna stick to that. And yeah, if your name gets pulled, awesome. I'm so small, there might only be 1 or 2 comments that are even left with a bait shop. So if you think about it, your chances of winning 50 bucks might be very high. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Best of luck in any of your fishing tournaments. And I hope to see you out there June 28th if I can make it. All right. Bye.